because of this metal pole.
I'm sure I'm not. I need to turn the camera.
Is there,
The video there, I'm not sure. So not slightly to the side, you know what I mean, the camera. I would have
this thing here, that would like never went out.
Well, I live in Sweden because
Open that up, nothing. So we have because like.
So is it not straight?
it doesn't look, I'm going to go check from there. Because from here, I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm going,
a lot of people coaches and stuff.
Good evening, everybody. We are live from GCS College in Bristol. Or, I'm sorry, SGS College in Bristol. I'm Kyle Garland along with Joe Cotterill. Joe is very familiar to this location. He plays for the Bristol Aztecs, also plays Uniball in Swansea. He will be helping break down the plays today and the action that he spots as the expert. He is our appointed expert. You see the teams are on the field right now for the coin toss. It is the Bristol Academy Pride taking on the Hamburg Huskies. Yeah, the young Huskies.
So the Pride's captains for today are number 4, Joe Lee, on special teams. For the defense, we have Cameron Birkinshaw, and for the offense is Eric Sogest. But he will not be participating in the game.
Yeah, a few injuries for the Huskies here, or I'm sorry, for the Pride before this first game of the season. This is the final game of the season for the Huskies, and we were just speaking to their coach about how they've got a mix of guys who are finishing up their playing time and some players who are just beginning their season with them. Coin toss taking a bit of extra time. As you can see, beautiful day here in Bristol. Clear skies. Weather will not be a factor. There's virtually no wind as well, so perfect evening for some American football. Pride in all blue, the Huskies, the near side on your screen, the white jerseys. They had a 15-hour bus ride this morning from Germany. Got in this morning around 9 o'clock in the morning. Had a couple of hours of sleep. But once the lights come on and that whistle blows, everybody is ready to play.
Oh, especially those seniors, it's those last games for quite a lot of them, as coach tells us. We have Philippe back to return by the looks of things.
Yeah, number 2, Philippe, is the deep kick returner for the Huskies. He's joined by Adrian Durkop. Pride going from left to right on your screen. And that's number 7, Nathan Willis, who will be doing the kicking duties. Short kick takes a bounce. That's Adrian Durkop out near the 20 or near the 35-yard line. They'll mark it at the 33. That is where the Huskies will begin 1st and 10.
Not the greatest kicks, but I'm sure they'll do okay from here to start from.
Huskies are a big team.
Yeah, the Pride overwent a change in defensive scheme this off-season where it's a big change really from the traditional 3-4. They've now gone to a 4-3. So it'll be interesting to see now how they've transitioned and adapted to the changes really.
I said all right.
Got a bit of a hold up. Maurice Mack, the quarterback for the Huskies. Nice, big, tall quarterback. Easy for him to see over his offensive line. some issues with the football, apparently, as we're 3 officials are now discussing which football they want to go ahead and play. Well, it looks like they're checking the inflation levels of the footballs, and you're a Patriots fan. You know something about that.
Quarterback just wants a certain pressure. That's all, surely.
All right, now we're set. And that pass is complete on the near sideline. Just shy of the 40-yard line.
We've just seen Lerman for the young Huskies walk back to the locker room. So as a senior and is one of his last games, it'll be interesting to see if he comes back out to the field, really.
Four wide receivers for the Huskies. Flynn Bay, the lone running back. Another quick pass. Nice job by the Pride to read that, dropping for a big loss back near the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's a great play by Nathan Willis. He's a DB coming from the Coventry Jets. He's done well there. He's got a stacked receiver on against him, and he's come off the blocker and made a really big tackle.
That brings up a 3rd down and 8 for the Huskies. Handoff.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Right down
Fake
the middle.
man. He had a man. Overthrows his receiver just a little too high. It's a good fake there by the quarterback. Had me faked out, but had his wide receiver open, just missed that one. And so good start for the Pride. They get a 3 and out on the first possession defensively.
Here's a really interesting return duo. Richard Illingworth is from Ipswich. He's been here now for, I think this was his 3rd year. And he's a nice, tall, quick receiver, along with Marcus Barbosa from the blitz.
Good high punt. Nobody's going to take it, and it will bounce dead inside the 25-yard line, marking it at the 24. Of course, you mentioned the blitz, the youth blitz, undefeated champions this year. So, in terms of what does that do for a player's confidence as he comes now over to the Pride?
I think for Marcus, I spoke to him pretty recently at Bristol training camp, and the kid's really, he's really lively, he's pretty confident in his ability, he's mentally really ready to play, and it just shows sort of a setter more than anything.
McCluskey hands it off on the first play. It was Barbosa, the ball carrier. Or was that 21?
I think it was Tapua.
21 there. Okay, that was Tapi Munemo. Nothing doing on that one. Stacked up by the Huskies.
Just need to contain the flow coming from the linebackers on that particular play, where we had a double team that just missed completely from the wing back.
The Pride are going to run as quickly as possible here. They do not huddle up. They like to snap that ball quick. Control the tempo on offense. Passing deep. Receiver goes down. No flag on the play. It was incidental contact. And so on 4th down, the Pride will bring in their punt team. So first game of the season, maybe some first game jitters for the team, getting some of the cobwebs out here. Alex Bowers doing the punting for the Pride.
Some confusion with the
end-over-end snap, but punt is away. Takes the Huskies bounce and will die at the 47-yard line. They'll begin their second possession in great field position. So you've played on this field a number of times. In terms of the different fields around the country, where would you rank the quality of this?
Definitely the best field I've ever played on by far. It is nothing really like this as a facility in terms of UK ball, really.
Mac talking to his wide receivers. He is back to pass. Another short one out to number 81, Loomis Matheson. See a second down and short coming up.
Looks like Hamburg coach is getting a bit frustrated. He wants to go a bit quicker, but not getting set.
Mack will keep it this time. He's got the first down near the 40-yard line. He's just shy of the Pride 40-yard line. As the coach was explaining, this is a kind of a mix and match of players, so they haven't all played together a lot, so that may be part of the problems with communication and part of the reasons why they're not getting set so quickly. Mack looks to his right. He's got his wide receiver. Some space in the middle. Finally taken down, but he's close to another first down. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 32-yard line. Brings up second down and short.
It's been a nice little bunch of trips to the left here.
They certainly have a matchup problem there for the Pride defense. Just two defenders out there on those three wide receivers. Mack, though, keeps it. Gain of 2. Looks like he has a first down, but perhaps he didn't look out to his left to see how
Yeah, that's a really, really good play by Tapua. He really forces that quarterback to come back inside and still makes that tackle whilst containing that pitch man.
So empty backfield now for the Huskies. Defense blowing it up in the backfield, but nice job there by Flynn Bay to make a little something out of nothing. Only a gain of a yard, but he could have lost 3 or 4. Now 3 wide receivers to Mack's right-hand side. He looks deep. He takes a big hit, but he's got a man wide open. And that is a Huskies touchdown. Nice job there by Mack to stay in the pocket. He took a shot right to the chest, but found his man and the first touchdown of the game.
Yeah, he really sold that safety. The safety got a bit frozen on that pump fake and just allowed him to run deep. And I think that was the matchups they were looking for, really, within those trip space.
Now on for the extra point. The kick is no good, wide to the right. So opportunity missed there to tack on another 6-0 Hamburg. Well, you know, he was throwing, or Mack had a series of short passes near the line of scrimmage, and as a defensive back, does that start to lull you into a sense of complacency?
Yeah.
You start to cheat up a little bit.
I mean, they come out with that quick screen game, whether it was receiver, running back, anything. They had a lot of good looks. And, yeah, I think they sold that really short one from the Z spot. And the formation player just ran straight by. I think you just got to always remain a bit disciplined, which unfortunately the Pride guy isn't. But
Well, and that's the kind of thing that by the fourth or fifth game you've probably worked out, but the first game of the season, some of these guys new to football, and some of those nuances that they just haven't learned yet.
I mean, there's a lot of ranges of abilities within the Pride team, and of course, to play for the Pride, you have to attend SGS college and take on a full-time educational course. So it can be anyone really. If you're willing to be committed, Coach Jared will really have a look at you.
The kick takes a Huskies bounce into the end zone. Pride will smartly take a knee, and he doesn't need to get up and run it. And that is a touchback. I'm not sure what happened, unless he wasn't in the end zone. It's hard to see from our angle. The referees will have a little conference to discuss. Didn't appear as though anybody touched the ball, and now they're saying touchback. Yes.
Yeah, Coach Harrod will be really pleased with that. The last thing he wants is to put the offense out on the 2-yard line.
Yeah, so the Pride will begin this possession at their own 20. And he made the right decision to take a knee, but second-guessed himself, tried to run, but already he'd taken the knee, so worked out for the Pride.
It's going to be really interesting to see what Coach Mayer does with this drive. I mean, it's 7-0 to the Huskies, but he's got plenty of time to work with, really.
Handoff inside the middle. Some decent room to run for Barbosa. Looks like he gained close to 5 yards on that first down carry. Barbosa again, little space on his left-hand side, but that's quickly snuffed out by the defense. Number 5, John Philip Baubeck.
The Pride O-line seems to be doing a very good job of blocking that first level. Is just getting up and scraping up to that second level. If we can get some of those blocks, they can really, really cause some trouble for the Huskies.
3rd down and 4. Up the middle, some space. He's got a first down. Good solid run by Barbosa there, or is that number 41 it looks like. Can't keep track with the changing running backs. That's the Elijah Okunwo. McCluskey looking deep.
Like this matchup. And
He's got it. 20, the 10, touchdown Pride.
That's a huge grab for Richard Illingworth. Huge grab.
68 yards on the score. McCluskey to Illingworth, and the Pride are now an extra point away from taking the lead.
Yeah, I think Coach Mayer must have seen this pretty early on. The Huskies not really running with any safeties particularly high. Most they have is a real single safety, and Coach Mayer is going to have a lot of faith in his receivers, especially Richard, who is a senior right now. and that's a really big grab. Balls.
Extra point is blocked. Giving chase. Certainly a shove in the back. But there was so that would be a clipping penalty on the Huskies. It won't matter. They did not get the return on that PAT. So we're going to sit at 6. But a really, really nice pass there by McCluskey. Lets his receiver keep running running so that he doesn't really have to stop to make the catch. So it allows him to keep that momentum going towards the end zone, and then he just outraces the 2 defenders.
Yeah, there was a lot of options at quarterback for the Pride tonight as well. So we'll probably see more than just McCluskey out. We have Tash and McGregor, who's more than likely going to see the field for a good chunk of the game. So that's a good way for McCluskey to really get his foot in the door. We haven't really seen McCluskey used as a runner yet, and he is a pretty good runner from the pocket, along with Tashin, who's probably got the edge as a passer. So yeah, this is already set to be a pretty good game, some pretty big plays.
Yeah, just midway through the first quarter here, we've just had 4 possessions with 2 big touchdowns each team. And a good job by the Pride to answer the Huskies touchdown. Short kick, the up man will take it. He will bobble it. Ball on the turf. And Pride does a nice job of getting down the field and covering that kick. Huskies will start this possession at their own 22-yard line.
Yeah, Antonio Costa from the blitz. DB done a real good job there on the kickoff. He came flying downhill, walked past his blocker, and just wrapped him up real quick. So it really doesn't affect a very short kick.
So Mack back in. He had a 30-yard touchdown pass to end the last possession for the Huskies. Late substitution now for the Huskies. Get their 11th player on the field. Handoff up the middle.
Boy.
Picks his way forward, picks up about 5 yards on that carry.
Yeah, that Bay is a pretty strong runner. He just flies straight through that B gap, and our end for the Pride, Evangelist Tresanis just couldn't really bring him down with just an arm.
2nd down and 5. Handoff to the wide receiver, and he is going to be wrapped up for a loss. Back at the 20-yard line. Nice job defensively there by the Pride. So a 3rd down and 12. Three wide receivers split out to Mack's left-hand side. He's looking downfield, got somebody over the middle, and it's intercepted by the Pride. Some space on the right-hand side. He's got some blockers. He's inside the 10 and knocked out of bounds.
Wow, that's a really big play for Cameron Birkinshaw from the Coventry Dreads. Man, he was just lurking. He probably must have seen that play from earlier on where they dropped the ball over the middle, and he's just sat there waiting for it. It wasn't the best throw available, I don't think. Coach Dudek, the offensive coordinator for the Hamburg Huskies, is probably not going to be too happy.
Well, and that is your defensive captain making that play. That's the kind of play you want to see out of your captains. big, huge change of momentum as all of a sudden the Pride are now knocking on the door. Got a timeout on the field right now. Looks like a Pride player is down on the field, near sideline here.
It looks like Neville Jade Matumbo plays a line for the London Blitz, actually. He's another member of that real good youth squad.
You guys are doing a brilliant job. It's looking absolutely wicked there. Scores up there, everything. It's looking great. Commentators sound great as well. Excellent.
So, of course, the differences in the football being played here in the UK versus over on the continent in Germany. The leagues over there import players. They tend to pay players, pay coaches. So it's a different level of competition. I know that when the UK teams have a chance to play them and prove something, it's always really special for the local teams here, because the fact is that the playing fields just aren't equal when it comes to playing a team from Germany.
Yeah, I mean, particularly Hamburg. I mean, their men's team recently got promoted to GFL 1, so as a setup right now, they're pretty high up right now. But yeah, as imports and stuff go, British game doesn't particularly get anything at all. It's not allowed. So it's always interesting to see and what we can do on a continent basis. Particularly the Blitz had great success in Europe, and the Warriors also held their own.
Yeah, the Warriors went down to Austria and did very well in a game there. Well, our injured player got off the field under his own power. Good news. And we are now set. And fumbles the football, but McCluskey drops back on it, but a big loss on that play. Like he just didn't have the handle on it. So that pushes the ball back to the 21-yard line and a goal-to-go situation. So a lot of real estate now to cover before the end zone. McCluskey's going to keep it. He's got a little space on that side. Oh, nice shoestring tackle there. We do have a flag on the play.
It looks like he wants to call if too many men on the field. He's never count out.
See what the officials call. It was Angelos Christolata who made that tackle. Otherwise, it looked like McCluskey had some real estate to run. We're going to get a procedure penalty against the Pride. So perhaps not enough men on the line of scrimmage.
The look we've been given as the Pride, sort of questionable from the Huskies. They're really daring the Pride to throw the ball deep. They're not really leaving anyone deep. I may be wrong. The Huskies may have a lot of faith in their defensive backs, but currently, Pride being dared to throw this football, I think.
So they actually called 12 men on the field for the offense. That's not something you see very often.
It's not a great penalty. It's a very enforced error.
So 3rd down and 22. He's got some space to run. Cuts it back inside the 5, and he is in for the touchdown.
And that's the speed of Tapiwa. Tapiwa is a very quick player. He runs track. He's an all-around athlete. Plays running back. He'll play linebacker. He'll play receiver.
Unfortunately, a holding penalty is going to bring it all back. Brilliant run there, though. He cut back, kind of got lost in some of the big bodies and just all of a sudden exploded out of a hole. But holding penalty is going to negate what was a very nice touchdown run.
Dominic Wu, who's been called from the Merseyside Nighthawks.
So a spot foul is going to leave the ball at the 22. And waiting for the call to come in. So again, we are third down and a lot of real estate before the end zone. 3 wide receivers now to McCluskey's right. Huskies jump offside and make contact, so
yeah, that was a
will be
very,
an
very,
encouragement.
very clever play call by Coach Mayer. He brings that motion back, and is a timed run look they give the Huskies, and the Huskies D-line sort of knew it, tried to get a jump, and he's just forced himself a real bad penalty.
Well, makes the prospects of a field goal much more likely as they move their way 5 yards closer. Timeout on the field by the Pride will set up a 3rd down and 17.
Be interesting to see what they do with this. Do they run the ball, try and set up for a favourable kick for their kicker, or do they try and go and get that extra couple of points?
So put on your coach's hat. You've just had an extra point blocked. Do you does the kick become less of an option for you after something like that?
I think I'm taking a shot downfield for sure. I mean, blocking up front on that extra point was pretty poor. It wasn't just one hand coming through. It was 5 or 6 bodies really coming through. So.
All right, so here we go. 3rd down and goal from the 17. Gillespie's going to keep it. He's got a little space in the middle. Nearly loses the handle. Down to the 10-yard line. And we'll see if the field goal unit comes onto the field or not. So far, they are not moving. So it looks like on a 4th and goal from the 10, the Pride is going to go for it. Trips out to the right. McCluskey looks to his left. Over the shoulder and incomplete. Pass was there.
I don't think that's a bad decision from Coach Mayer. He goes for it on 4th. He's got him pinned back on their 10. And overall, I mean, that was a 50-50 ball. Marcus Barbosa might have brought that in, maybe if it's put out a little more in front of him. But yeah, they pin back on their 10. Pride defense now just got to make a couple of plays, and they could get this football back pretty soon.
Well, yeah, I like the call. If you don't feel like a field goal is likely, and you're also in a situation where you're taking on a very good team, field goals aren't going to win you the game. But your defense has looked solid. I mean, two of the 3 possessions, your defense has been great. So handoff up the middle, and the ball comes free.
Comes out.
No signal as to who has it. Looks like the Huskies got it back. Just a gain of a yard on that. Second and 9. Three wide receivers to Max left. That's the direction he goes with it.
He's there again. Happy were. I mean, he plays sideline to sideline. He's playing, it sort of just looks like an edge rushing position right now. And we said earlier, he's an absolute athlete. He's a hard worker in the gym. And he's running off the field, and he looks pretty quick. So, it's always a good sign.
Yeah, so 3rd down and 6. And it looks like that is the end of the first quarter of play. So we're going to go ahead and switch sides of the field. 6-6 our score as we begin the second quarter. It'll be a 3rd down and 6. And yeah, Tappy with a great swiping shoestring tackle there to bring up the 3rd down, and a very stoppable 3rd down on 3rd down and 6. The Pride, I know, didn't quite know what to expect with the first game of the season. They've got to be pretty pleased after the first quarter of play here.
Yeah, I've been particularly impressed. I mean, the defensive backs especially have really held their own. I think Hamburg have given them some pretty good looks, but they haven't been able to exploit any particular alignment errors from the Pride, which is always a good sign. I mean, it seems that they've been able to stack up the box, stop the run, and the pass isn't really happening very often for the Huskies, so it'll be interesting to see what they do.
So 3rd and 6. Snap is fumbled and picked up. He's got a man, and it is complete. And we've got an injured Pride player on the field.
Doesn't sound.
So both teams will head to the sideline as he's definitely in some pain.
Same for that one. Now, your aperture, has it got iris and then manual? Iris?
Well, you hate to see that. These are young kids getting injured like that. You're excited for the football season, and here you are, the first game of the season, and you get hurt, and we obviously don't know the extent of it, but.
If you get started, flick it back. Just give it a turn. Yep, and back. Okay, and is that off now completely? Yep, okay. If you put your iris then.
Always unfortunate when somebody goes down.
And it'll brighten it up for you. Has it done it now? Sweet. That's what you need to do. So, Jasper, if you So your season at Swansea is about a month away from starting?
Yeah, well, our first game is actually played here against the UE Bullets. So that'll be a good game. It's on October 31st, so it's not too far away now.
So people should come out and spend Halloween with
for sure.
with you out here. Do we need to come in costume?
You can come in costume if you wish. I mean, my focus will be the game, but you have to smile at the sideline. That's always good. A very quick response from the physios here as they wasted no time in getting out to the injured player. I didn't see a number to know who it is. But initially he was holding his leg, but his legs are now propped up, which is a good sign. He's not afraid to move them.
Has it got aperture? Oh, you got it. Okay, brilliant. Good man. That's it. Just flick it to auto.
So resetting where we are, early second quarter at 6-6. The Hamburg Huskies got the scoring started with a 30-yard touchdown pass. But the Pride answered right back on the next possession, a 68-yard score. Big pass from Stephen McCluskey. Richard Illingsworth made the catch and took it to the house. Both teams missed their extra points, and so 6-6 is where we are. Injured player being now carried off the field.
Guys, it's looking, you're actually doing excellent camera operating. Looking sweet. Good on you, guys.
And of course, when somebody goes down, it doesn't matter what uniform you're wearing. Everybody concerned, everybody rooting for that player. It's the kind of thing that unites all football players. And you can see the Huskies making sure they clear a path for the player to be carried off.
Just carry you alone.
And we are now set to play. It is 1st and 10 for the Huskies. Ball the 21-yard line. Trips spread out to the left-hand side. Now one of them comes in motion. He is going to block for the running back. Not a ton of space in the middle of the field. It's Finn Bay on the carry. Gain of around 5 yards, it looks like.
Yeah, that size differential was really noticeable in that last run play. You can, the size of this Hamburg O-line and D-line, in general, really, you can sort of see a 1v1 when they get those double teams is pretty overpowering.
Yeah, they are a big unit. That is no question about that. Bay again with the carry. Nice job there by number 87, Uchenna Obasi. Makes the tackle and brings up a 3rd down.
Yeah, it's a pretty big 3rd down. The Pride can get the ball back here. That'll set him in good position.
Pass is skipped to the receiver and incomplete, and so the Pride do hold on 3rd down, and that's going to force the punt team onto the field for the Huskies. So this defensive unit, 3 of the 4 times they've been on the field, have done an excellent job of getting off the field and getting the ball back into the hands of their offense. Snap to the short man. They're going to fake it, and they've got the 1st down.
Yeah, pre-snap there's a lot of confusion with the Pride. They weren't too sure where they were lined up. You had some people to the right, just not really knowing where to go, and Coach Harrod's not going to be too happy with that play.
Yeah, John Philip Borbeck catches that short snap, and you got to wonder if that was an audible that the punt team went to after seeing the Pride lineup. But a big 1st down on a fake punt.
Again, I think that big size matchup really comes into it. On that special teams, they had a big line. There was only 3 down linemen for the Pride, and he's a big guy. He just runs straight through that line.
So Mack is back to pass. He looks deep down the field. Got nothing but blue shirts. Good coverage there by the Pride.
It was a nice little post corner route, but it's pretty well covered up by defensive backs. They've really been impressive this game.
And Nathan Willis was the one who had the closest chance to catch that. 2nd down and 10 now. Pitch out to the running back. He's got some space. Out across the 45-yard line, down to the 46.
Yeah, it was a pretty good play. I mean, the discipline from the defensive line sort of let up there. They committed too many guys inside, and it just allowed the easy pitch out.
So 3rd down and 2. Mac's going to keep it himself and run for the 1st down. It crosses midfield. Well, he's a load. He is a big quarterback, and this entire team is big, and you got to think that some of that is starting to play a role here in the 2nd quarter as they kind of wearing this drive away.
That's a really good shot block by number 11, Day, for the Huskies. Just seals that edge and takes 2 guys out. That's a big play.
Moves the ball to the 36-yard line of the Pride. Another 1st down run. First scoring drive by the Huskies was primarily through the air, and this one now getting it done on the ground. Back to passes, Mack. A little pressure up the middle. He's got a man. Overthrows him. Again, good coverage by the Pride defensive backs.
Yeah, the Huskies training staff, I'm not too happy about that one. But, I mean, it was sort of over and in the throw, and he's a bit too high. Needs to be a bit further out in front of him, because that post route he's on, he had Nathan Willis tracking back a little there. Nothing you can really complain about.
2nd down and 10. 2 wide receivers to each side. Looks to his left. Finds his short man, but a nice job defensively. And again, that's Nathan Willis. Comes up to make the stick, holds him to a 2-yard gain. So 3rd down and 8. Got to figure, though, that we're probably in 4-down territory for the Huskies. And he's got his man, and he's caught it for a touchdown. Nice throw there by Mack.
Yeah, he had Nathan Willis really tracking back for that one. I mean, he's just had some really good plays the past couple of drives, and he's just slipped up.
Was Luca Henrik on the reception. Well, yeah, he's had that play. Just missed it a couple of times, but that one right on the money. Coverage wasn't bad, but when you've got a pass thrown like that, it's a tough position to be as a corner. They're now going to go for 2. Matt keeps it. He's now running for his life. He doesn't have any receivers out on that side, so there was nothing for him to do. Nice job there by the defense.
From a coaching point of view, I'm not really too sure about the play call. Thought you would have just gone up and inside. Those big physical bodies up front for the Huskies, you know. You can just have a look down on the field and see the size difference. So I thought a nice little inside run would have been right on for him. The Pride didn't really stack the box any heavier than normal.
So 12-6, the score. Huskies getting some last-minute kickoff instructions. The Pride ready for the return. Midway through the 2nd quarter here. these two teams played a year ago, Pride did themselves well with a. They ended up losing, but 28-20. They played a very good Huskies team. This Huskies team a little different than last year, just in personnel, not in ability for sure. I know the Pride lost a couple of their top players from last year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they lost the quarterback and wide receiver combo of Tom Clancy and Max Charman, who have both got college offers. So that's definitely a big miss.
Fumbled kickoff, and the Huskies fall on it at the 27-yard line. Well, a tough play there. Barbosa running at a sprint, trying to catch that one on the fly. Might have been better served to let that one bounce. It's a difficult play to make on an end-over-end ball.
Yeah, that's definitely a momentum swinger for the Huskies. Back inside the 30 again.
So the Pride defense back out onto the field, and they've got a task ahead of them to try to keep their team in this game and not allow the Huskies to get two quick scores here. Wide receivers shifting positions for the Huskies. A handoff to the wide receiver, and he is met by number 3, Antonio Costa.
Yeah, these jet motions and sweeps of the Huskies haven't really materialized as of yet, but all it takes is one missed bit of discipline from Pride, and they can easily go for a touchdown.
Well, the Huskies are definitely the bigger team, but in terms of quickness, I'd say the Pride are running with this team very easily. Got a lot of good speed out there.
This defensive back end seems like it's got a lot of speed. Certainly the receiver's got a bit of speed.
Max short pass, incomplete. So 3rd down and 9. Again, though, probably in 4-down territory, as it's maybe a little beyond the range of their field goal kicker and certainly too close to punt. Mack has time, looks down the middle of the field.
It's gone.
It is intercepted, and he's got some space on the left-hand side.
Sure again.
If he can get a block on the quarterback.
He's going. He's got to make it.
And
he's still in. No.
And they're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
It looks like it's around
tremendous play, however.
28-yard line. I mean, that's a big play. That's a huge play. I think that's the real momentum swinger that the Pride needed again.
Well, it looked like the Huskies were, just a couple of plays away from taking a 2-touchdown lead, and just like that, the Pride are now in position to tie this game and perhaps take the lead with an extra point. Terrific play.
Yeah, the defensive captains had a really big game today, and let's just hope that everyone else on his side of the ball can really just help him follow him.
Well, it looked like he was reading the quarterback's eyes that entire time and read that pass perfectly. Got some nice blocks along the left sideline. He was really close to not stepping out of bounds.
Yeah, admittedly, I thought he was gone.
It's like the Huskies coaches are complaining about something. This is a friendly, and so the referees are are a little more allowing. Typically, you wouldn't have the coaches standing 15 yards out on the field in a conference while the teams are lined up and ready to go. Also, a couple of times the Huskies would have been guilty of illegal substitution if they wanted to call it. That last possession, they ran a receiver off the field after he was already lined up. That would have been a penalty in a regular game. And so here we go, 1st and 10. Coaches are now off the field, and we are ready to go. Chain Gang, however, falling asleep down at the far end of the field. They are just now realizing that play has moved from one end to the other. They are now set up, and now we're ready to go. McCluskey, far corner, overthrows his man.
Not too sure he had the matchup or defensive look he really wanted there. Was just putting a lot of faith into Richard Illingworth to go up and get it, but no good anyway.
Yeah, 2 defenders on that play. Was well defensed by the Huskies. And again, not sure what the delay is as we're all kind of standing around and chatting. If you're waiting for the play call, looked like the quarterback and referee were talking. And here we go. 3 wide receivers to McCluskey's right. And nothing doing on that run to the left-hand side.
Yeah, you can see Coach Mayer's really just trying to get Tapua in space, but they're struggling at the moment just to find those little holes. But once he gets in that open field, he's a speed demon for sure. He's going to the house a lot of the time.
Big loss on that play. Looks like about a 5-yard loss. And the Pride are going to go ahead and call a timeout here. Well, an important possession. You want to make sure and get it right. You're probably, again, looking at both a 3rd down and 4th down call here if you don't pick it up.
Yeah, the offense has been quite impressive so far. You can see there's little things we just need to polish around, but I think that's to be expected after losing longtime quarterback Tom Clancy to an American college. So they're looking okay. Quarterbacks are starting to settle in a bit more.
Yeah, this program has sent a number of players over to play college football in the States. And that's got to be quite a source of pride for this team and for this academy.
Yeah, so this last season, Max Charman and Josh Keys both went to Laverne and Austin College. So that's pretty good college-wise. Cameron Graham also went from the community program to Laverne too, so pretty big.
Well, Laverne in Southern California, not the worst place to have to go play
No,
play college football. A lot of space for McCluskey out there. He's going to throw the ball.
Ow.
Overthrows his man. Just a little too high. Got his hands on it, but couldn't find the handle. Looked like he might have been able to pick up 7 or 8 yards if he just carried the football. So 4th down now, 4th and 15.
Yeah, I don't think the Pride have much faith in their sort of special teams.
Ball finally reset. Big play here. McCluskey fakes it. and he overthrows everybody in the middle of the field out of the back of the end zone. Incomplete pass, and it'll be a turnover on downs and back to the Huskies.
Yeah, I think he really wanted to take off with that ball. I think he got mid-tuck and thought about it, realised down in distance, and just thought he needed to take a shot, really.
Yeah, 15 yards might have been just a bit too far for his legs to pick it up. Pride, though, have to feel very confident with their defense on the field. Matt, quick pass, and a lazy wide receiver kind of starting to think about his move after catching it and forgot to actually grab the football. Incomplete pass there, 2nd down and 10. You play wide receiver. You have any objections to the old adage, if you can get your hands on it, you should catch it?
For sure. There's ones that you don't really, you get your fingertips to, nothing more. You've got to be pretty special to get them all in, but yeah, I'll say I do have, but I can tell you a lot of coaches definitely don't.
So 3rd down and 8. Again, the Pride doing a nice job defending the run. Pitch out this time, and Bay is going to be short of the 1st down.
That's another huge tackle by Nathan Willis. Yeah, his older brother also plays soccer for Coventry Football Club. So he has some athletic pedigree.
Yeah, no
family.
question about it. That's some good athletic genes in that family. Well, 4th down and about a long 4.5 to 5 yards, and the Huskies are going to go for it. Interesting call this far deep in your own end. Though Mack doesn't appear to be in any hurry to snap the ball. In fact, he doesn't even look like he's aware that there's a football game going on at the moment as he kind of wanders around. And well, I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, it's a very interesting
why
decision.
you would just stand there and decide to take a 5-yard penalty, which is clearly what was happening. I mean, they weren't trying to run a play.
I think they ran the hard count and nothing came off, but
Yeah.
coaches didn't want to take any risks and just going to punt it away.
On 4th and 1, the hard count makes a little sense because the defense is trying to get off the football very quickly, but on 4th and 5, it's less so. And
Yeah, any offsides would have been pretty ill-disciplined.
punt is away. Takes a bounce at the 40-yard line, a good Husky bounce inside the 35. It'll be down at the 33, and that is where the Pride will begin this possession, 1st and 10. This is a close game. Both defenses are playing well, and so I just don't understand why you just give 5 yards of field position, but I am not coaching, and so
Well, they're on the
I don't have to
33.
understand it.
They could have been on half 28.
So 4 wide receivers in for McCluskey. Tappy gets it. He's got some space. Turns on the Jets. And he's out across midfield. A nice run there.
Yeah, as soon as he found that edge, he just stuck his foot in the ground and really tried to get upfield. Some pretty good blocking from Richard Imworth out wide there.
But he's just got that extra gear he can kick into, and his speed is evident when he is in open space like that. He'll get the football again to the left side.
Oh, some great vision.
Some good cutbacks there. Again, another nice block there from Insworth. Or Illingworth, excuse me. And we have a Huskies player down on the field. So the teams will take a knee and he'll be tended to.
Just looks like he rolled an ankle.
Yeah, up very quickly and
Too bad.
now hobbling off the field, but doesn't look to be too serious. So back-to-back runs here and move the football down across midfield and into Husky territory. Got to feel pretty good about the way this possession has started.
And the Pride should really want to kick on from that, injury timeout just to have a look on what they can take away from this.
McCluskey keeps it,
Yeah,
trying to bull his way ahead for the first down.
I'm sure I really want to take on a linebacker if I'm McCluskey there.
And he was short of that first down, it appears. Nope. Now they say first down. Head referee came in and made the call, and so a new set of downs for the Pride.
Yeah, certainly Gary Hunter from East Kilbride really just took control of the nose tackle, just pushed him aside and opened up a nice little lane for McCluskey to get that first down.
And nowhere to go this time for Tappy.
The Huskies saw that motion and there was a heavy run coming downhill.
We are at the 2-minute warning. Pride facing a second down and 14. A couple of times we've seen Tepe thrown for some big losses, and he runs a little bit like Barry Sanders, who probably maybe a little before your NFL time. I'm dating myself a little bit, but Barry was one of the great running backs in football, but he every year led the league in runs for losses because he was one of those high-risk, high-reward backs who had tremendous ability, and he sometimes had confidence in that ability and would run backwards to try to get around the defense. And so every year he led the league in tackles or in runs behind the line of scrimmage, but of course he also rushed for 2,000 yards in a season and is in the Hall of Fame. Kluski throws that one away. Flag is down near where he threw it.
Yeah, they sent some really heavy A-gap blitzes there. And O-line dealt pretty well with it, but McCluskey still had to be flushed away from the pocket.
Referees discussing the penalty. The Hamburg coach is out on the field to assist. Now 3 coaches out there. Well, he certainly appeared to be outside the tackle box, and therefore I wouldn't think that it would be a grounding penalty. Didn't see if he got hit late. And they are going to call intentional grounding. But you can see where the flag is. And if the flag is at the spot of the infraction, which it's supposed to be, that is well outside the tackle box. Unless they're saying the ball didn't pass the line of scrimmage. Well, all right, so 2 penalties against the Pride there. The holding penalty is declined. The big penalty is the grounding penalty. They called it a legal forward pass, but it's basically as good as a sack, and so now you've got a 3rd down and very, very long.
Okay, they're giving 2-minute warning as well. All right, so we'll get a break soon. Half time. Apparently it's not very long. Yeah, like 15 minutes if that.
So 3rd down and about 25 to go. Klusky trying to find Illingworth. Good coverage on the play.
Yeah, these Huskies DBs look pretty confident, just running with their man, no matter where they're going on this field.
Have you got Mike's number?
Which really helps their strength, which is that front 7.
Well, on 4th down and forever, the Pride are going to stay on the field. And maybe now the coaches are rethinking that decision, but they certainly appeared as if they were going to go for it. Ball at their own 49-yard line. And now it looks like the punt team will come onto the field. It's number 14, Alex Bowers, who's doing the punting for the Pride. This will be his 2nd punt of the game. We are inside 2 minutes. Low snap, Bowers is able to get the kick away, and he gets a nice bounce out of it. It rolls down inside the 25-yard line. So a nice job there by Bowers to avert disaster.
Yeah, the snap really wasn't doing him any favors there.
So you got to see what the Huskies try to do here. They've got a lot of field between them and a touchdown and not a lot of time on the clock. Do you go ahead and be satisfied to go in 12-6, or do you take some risks knowing that you've got an opportunistic defense back there who's already picked off your quarterback twice?
Yeah, it's worth noting this defensive backfield is very, very young. Other than number 3, Antonio Costa, everyone is 17 years old. So Costa's only 16 too.
Short pass. Receiver catches it on his knees, and he's down right there. Gain of about 3 yards on that catch. And the clock is running. We don't have a clock to look at, but we know that we are in the waning moments here of the first half. And a dangerous play there is that one pops off the receiver's shoulder pad, and you had three DBs with their eyes lit up, ready to try to grab that one.
Yeah, I'm sure Cam Birkinshaw, it was over there, his eyes would have been lighting up for that hat trick.
So 3rd and 7.
It's quite interesting to see that Hamburg evolved to an actual huddle for this particular play, as opposed to running just a no-huddle style we've seen all game.
5 wide receivers. So if there was any thought that they'd be conservative with their play calling now, that is not the case. Goes downfield, and the receiver simply didn't see that football, it looks like.
I think he's lost that one in the lights.
Flag down, though, back near the quarterback. And we're going to get a roughing the passer call. Well, that's a way to bail the other team out, as they were facing a 4th down and long and probably forced to punt the football. Now they get 15 yards, an automatic 1st down, and another chance to go downfield.
Joe Martin's not going to be too happy with himself there. Came from a good East Kilbride youth setup as well, so fundamentally that's not a great play.
And the officials swapping out footballs again. No moisture, so it's not a matter of keeping a dry football out there. Another empty backfield for the Huskies. Across the middle of the field, and
Screaming blitz from Jacob Beeman from Max blindside there, right off the edge. Absolutely untouched. He done pretty well to get it away before getting lit up.
yeah, disrupt the timing, make the quarterback throw the ball before he wants to. 2nd down and 10. Sticking with the 5 with 5 wide receivers. Matt goes back to his right. Nearly intercepted. Nice defensive play there.
It's Jacob Beeman again. He comes up big there.
So 3rd down and 10. The Pride defense continuing to have an excellent first half. Across the middle of the field, and again, closest player to that was a member of the Pride defense.
Yeah, Max looked pretty styled these past few plays. He hasn't particularly been hitting any good route combinations at all.
So 4th and 10, they will bring on the punt team. They'll call a timeout first to talk things over. The last punt, Pride got some decent pressure on the punter. Obviously, at this stage of the first half, you need a big play if you're going to be able to score, and maybe a blocked punt is the big play you shoot for. We've yet to see a punt return. The punts have been short and bounced around, and
Yeah.
And nobody's back for the Pride, so
I think Coach
they
Herrick's
are
really conscious
they
of
are
that fake.
they are coming
really
conscious of the fake, and I think they are coming all out for the block. There's nobody back there to return this.
Oh, they got a bit.
He gets the punt away. He goes down, and the referee is going to throw a flag, and felt like a bit of play acting, but draws the flag. The punter went down. Ball down back at the Pride 12-yard line, but
It looked like number 5, Morgan Lundy, wide receiver from the blitz. He really brought that pressure. I don't really think it was a call, if I'm honest, but he sort of just dived, missed, and landed near his feet. There could be a big penalty otherwise.
well, only the running into the kicker variety, so it's only a 5-yard penalty, so the Huskies will decline that penalty. They'll take the result of their punt. Pride back at their own 12-yard line, and I suspect we will see nothing more than a need to run out the clock and move on to halftime. But an excellent first half for the Pride. They've proven that they belong on the same field with this team.
Yeah, I think Coach Ben's got a lot of positives to take from this first half. I think he thought he was just going to be outdone physically with the size of this team coming in. But I really think the Pride have held their own this first half. I mean, a 12-6 scoreline is really still open.
Well, and the Pride also had opportunities. They were down inside the 10-yard line before getting knocked out of there and getting no points out of it. But they had some opportunities to really have this game be a tie game or even the lead.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to special teams, especially at this level where a lot of people don't pay as much attention to it. But I think we've all seen certain times of certain games where special teams can really make a big impact, and we could potentially be missing 6 points for the Pride right now if they are confident in their kicking game.
And that is the end of the first half from SGS College here in Bristol. Halftime score, Hamburg 12, Bristol Academy Pride 6. We are going to take a short break here for halftime, but we'll be back just before the start of the third quarter and back to you live with the second half of play.
Lions, guys!
sort of context.
Yeah, totally.
I think the thing is, there'll give me some nonsense about if the new rule from
That camera's looking very dark all of a sudden. Now it might be due to the auto aperture. We just want to try and fix it. So what I'd like you to do is to just pick something that isn't a floodlight. So I'm thinking like a part of the grass. And if you zoom in on that, does it brighten up? Yeah, excellent. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, I think what it was is because it sees those and it goes, oh shit, everything's really bright. Let's bring my light down. Excellent, Jasper. That's looking really nice. I think a couple of little things. The camera operates really nice. It's just a couple of little times. I'm being very critical here. I feel harsh because it's really good. No, you're doing really nice though. Honestly, it looks very professional. Nice, very. You're predicting it. You're being there, ready to move.
Sometimes you lose the ball.
No, it's fine because when you do that, we cut straight back to this one. But yeah, there was one spot when we had to. Because this one went very dark, but it's just because it's seen this red light. Alright, so that's all fine. We're going to have a break.
Yeah, I was thinking, how do I get down?
Yeah, we're going to need to move that tripod right over as much as you can. Alright, so sort of get that trap door up. Yeah, that's it. That's the sort of real important thing.
You're in charge of this?
Yeah.
You're allowing someone to climb up on the side of that?
He should be on the inside.
He should be on the inside, shouldn't he?
Yeah. Was he on the outside?
Yeah.
Right, okay. I'll have a word.
It's not his fault.
No, it's mine. It's mine. No, I've very much spoken to him like where to go on the scaffolding.
Right, yeah.
But if we're kind of climbing on the outside,
I don't want to embarrass him because I know who he is.
Absolutely, yeah, Jack.
Okay.
No worries. No, I'll go and just remind them of kind of what we need to be doing with these. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Because I'm his father.
Oh, you really? Oh, nice to meet you. Oh, Jack Hunter's Dan.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. I'm Dan, by the way.
I don't want to embarrass him.
Not at all.
But he shouldn't be doing that.
No, and it's my fault because I'm positioned just here and I can't quite see them. But no, not at all. I mean, it's my responsibility ultimately. And I've very much advised. He said he's not that keen on heights as well, so I very much advised him.
No, I'm not that keen.
That I'm not either, really. No. So not a problem. Okay, as long as we're not climbing on this, I don't want anyone pulling on it. Essentially. But yeah, we've made sure everything's had risk assessments and made sure it's all secure. I'll go and do that. No, he's doing an excellent job there. Can really big him up. I said this is really being thrown in the deep end.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I mean, Jack obviously just come onto the course and we sort of said, "How'd you fancy it?" And he's said, "Yeah, I'm up for it." But it's quite a high pressure gig, I think, for the first gig for him to do. He's doing excellent. He's doing really well.
I don't want to embarrass him.
Not at all. No. I of course won't. It's my
Fell out.
I know. It's my job. Yeah, absolutely.
Probably don't do anything. He's fine.
I know. With his long
See what I mean?
I could see him. I was saying, Jack, don't try and get up. But no. It's my responsibility ultimately. So yeah, I'll just make sure for the second half we can get up there safely. Thank you very much for bringing it to my attention. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Okay, cool. So Jasper, what we'll do is well, yeah, big time. Is I'm gonna give you a hand with this this bat. No, yeah. So I'm gonna need to go up on the inside of this one to let you down. Okay. Now it's getting up to. Yeah. The main thing, just be very, very careful. Is if what we want to try and do, really, is try and make it possible for us both to get up there, because obviously I can't see I don't need to right now. It might be possible. You know what's happening? I kind of don't want you to have to hang off it, you know? So what might be the best idea? What could be a good idea is actually to position yourself between the two cameras and try and operate both in terms of the wide shot sparingly. Right, the wide shot. To hang back or to swap. So one of them at a time. What you want? Do you want to swap? I don't want to put all on back there. I don't want to give you whatever. No, Jack. I don't want to get the other one. I know you want to get down. That's why. Jasper, if you're able to get to the... Jasper, if you're able to get to the... There's the hat. Okay. Where did they get the key? So, I'm just going to unlock it. There it is. Now, if you just let me get down to it, Jasper, just before you do that. I obviously don't want you falling. I don't want you being in a position where you could fall. Yeah, my arms are getting a bit numb. Yeah. So were you sort of having to lean up on the outside of it to sort of get to the ground, basically? It's one hand down, one hand down. No worries. What we'll do is, if Jasper's able to get, are you able to get down from there? Yeah. It should be alright. You want me doing both counts? Well, either one of you really, but we just want to make sure we can do it in a kind of safe way. I don't want you to have to is that what it might be worth doing is possibly for the help out, how does it sound to you guys? You get a good sense of when it walks around, not when you're here. No, we just keep filming. I'll tell you what we could do is help out. You just take a quarter each now, because you've done a long gig. Trust me, I'm going to pay you back the time for this, guys. No, because it's essentially you're doing like a professional gig here. You know what I mean? In terms of the hours you're doing, so don't worry. Steve's going to get a big old, big enough, right? It's really impressive. Is that how about you take a quarter each, so then you're able to kind of chill a little bit. Yeah. You'll need to kind of work that out amongst yourselves, because obviously I'll be up there. You mean quarter each? One of you doing both. Now, only here. If it's not possible,
Come on, whiteboard for screeners.
I don't want to keep it up because in terms of the operating of the camera, the zoom is just a wheel, right? Isn't it? You sort of. It's easy than you think when you're. Would you want to do like that before or a couple of Yeah, I don't want to get too much on the I just want to, because obviously in terms of how you've got, Mike's not Fabio. Yeah, so we're in a position where you only pick up the massage for the we're going to get up there, which I can understand as well. I can appreciate that. So I mean, it's kind of down to us. No, I mean, all that will mean is that we will kind of need to, you know, we're not going to both at the same time, focus on one, and we'll pick up on the one. I mean, yeah, they're essentially set up now, really, aren't they? Like, you know, we just need to obviously bring this one back to a tight shot. That's all it is, really. This one is kind of there. Now, what we'll find is that we want this one to be able to respond now and everything. Yeah, Jack.
Should I stay up here, or should we try both of us get up?
If you can do it, if it can be done safely though, because that's the main thing.
Otherwise, I can stay up there.
I can't quite see how you're going to do it. You know, I cannot see how you're going to get Raven up there with it being like without being precarious. I don't really want to risk it.
Do you want to stand in the middle?
Yeah, I was thinking more. That's it. You put the tight angle shot on your left hand side.
Yeah. I'm going to use that sparingly.
Yeah, no, if you think the wide shot, it's really just going left to right, isn't it?
You're going to majority of them.
Well, I mean, you know, if you look at it, it's like that wide shot is just going left to right, isn't it? You know, so as long as that's on the right hand of the field, and then that one, yeah, is really focusing. That one's going to be a bit more controlled, you know. So as soon as the ball goes like that, if you think of it as like the wide shot just needs to be on like roughly the right half of the field, okay, and keep it wide. Don't do any zooming on that one. Keep that wide.
And keep that on the same side.
Yeah, so that one just needs to like fly the ball in terms of like that half of the pitch, then that half of the pitch, and nothing more specific than that. The tight one is the one you need to be kind of responding with. So when you're operating both, your wide one will only be every now and then just a quick, you know, and we can cut between them. So the second half, the filming will probably be lesser quality. But it's going to be more.
I was there for like 5 minutes waiting.
So sorry, Fabio. I'm so sorry.
The camera looks fine. It looks so brighter than the other one now.
Yeah, now it was the floodlights. It was responding to the floodlights. So that's great. But is that all right, then, guys? Yeah. The main thing there. The main thing is to make sure that don't come on the outside of the scaffolding at all. Ever. Because it can all go. And if they're only climbing on the inside, never on the outside. And don't worry about reaching things up, because it can mean that can down on your head. I lose my job, I get fired. Never allowed to work in the podcast again. Yeah, Jack loses his head, and you know, and your dad is, so I'm not going to have a lot of time to run. So yeah, essentially that's kind of it. All right. Are you sure that's all right? Give it a go. Try your best.
Are we doing like quarters, or I really don't mind?
I mean, it's up to you. You know.
Stay up here, like I do.
Quarters work as long as you do that.
Yeah, just if I needed help, I could just give you a call or something.
Jack, I'm the number.
Let's sort this out.
Jack. Don't come on the outside. Yeah, but don't come on the outside of it. That's it. That can come down. Jack. Yeah, because if you do that, that's the thing. Yeah. It's just making sure on the inside.
So what I do now, I get in the middle of these two. Get this set up.
Yeah, get that one set up.
If you bring that as far across, you know when you crawl through it?
Yeah.
Throw that again.
Or will you be able to just step over this kind of corner, you know, and step round? But you just want to make sure you're sort of safe. Yeah.
Just make sure there's enough.
Yeah. Now, guys, the thing to think about, Jack, with worrying about sort of camera, about shooting the camera, is that if all else fails, we stick on wide. Okay. If this is going crazy and it's like, God, I'm zooming in, it's all going crazy, we're just going to go back to wide, which is just standing still. So you can do what you like, and we'll only cut to you when we can see, yeah, it's got it how you want it. Alright, so if you're like zooming in, zooming out, no one's going to see any of that. Alright, so Jasper, if once you set that up, if you're able to do the tight shot, and when you're like zooming in, zooming out, just explain that to Jack. Like, look, I'm just spinning this wheel, and then and that will mean as long as if anything goes out of focus on the front of the camera, you've got two wheels, and you'll be able to see when you turn it. It takes it out of focus or it zooms it in.
It's fairly straightforward. I'll show you what to do.
I think I kind of did a little bit of it on that.
Yeah, I could see you adjusting it exactly the same. Yeah. And if it suddenly goes out of focus, well, is that okay? That foot there, yeah.
Yeah, hold that.
Oh, are you trying to climb through there, Jasper? Okay.
Because I can't get.
Oh, because of the wires, yeah. Jack. No, don't. Yeah.
Let's rethink this.
Because you crawled through it forwards a minute ago.
Could you?
Should I just climb through it again?
Yeah, if you can climb through it. If you can turn the camera first, so you've got an actual clear way of getting through it.
Yeah, good thing too.
Hold the leg, yeah.
All right, no, don't. Yeah.
Just watch out for.
Yeah. Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay. Now just make sure. Yeah, if you go through. Yeah, go through them. No, that's it. No, that. You should be alright. Good. You've got it, Jasper. That's it. That's scaffolding control. Okay. Jack, okay. Oh yeah, you just need to grab that foot, Jasper. That's it. And bring it back. That's it. Just put that in. That's it. That's it. Thanks, Jack. If you don't think I'm letting you swing off there, just let him know. It doesn't look like that happens, swing off.
Because the screen's on that side.
Say again?
Because the screen's on the opposite side.
It's difficult to kind of see.
It's going to be,
Yeah, that one needs to go across a little bit. Because that was...
This one just needs to be in sync.
Yeah, so that one needs to just be the wide angle. Now you could always use that as the tight shot. If you find that easy to operate, you could use that as the tight shot. And then that one does more of a wide angle. Yeah?
It's going to be a bit more sloppy than the first one.
That's fine. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's just when you get started, if Jack, if you could, like, because Jasper's going to be trying to operate both, is that, yeah, Jasper, if you sort of focus on that one.
Use this one as the cutting.
Yeah, that's all the close-ups, yeah, use that as your isolated shot, and then this one is your wide one. Yeah, just keeping an eye on, right, if you're trying to, like, if you're trying to spin that to the right, yeah. No, you don't need to. It's more that Jasper will operate it. But just approximately, that's it, Jasper. So that'd be fine. If we said, right, we want, Jack's going to be like, right, give us the left-hand side of the field. You can just give it a pull.
Just a little pull,
yeah. That's it. See? And then, Jasper, if you think at any one time we'll still be on another camera. So while you do that, you'll be on this one, and then as soon as that's like on the right-hand side of the field, we'll cut back to that one. Okay, so is that all right? Jasper, just try your best,
Just do it.
and just think, if you're doing something, we'll be on the other camera. So we'll still have something nice. Just take your time with your shots, don't rush. Alright, but if you are shooting, Jack, if you do see up there, okay, this one's just pointing completely the wrong way, let Jasper know. I need to go get the stream going. Alright, guys? Any issues here around? You good or bad? Please don't want to
Takes it out near the 30-yard line. Good coverage there by the Pride. So Joe, tell me adjustments here at halftime. Who needs to make them, and what adjustments do they need to make?
Well, I think the Bristol Russian attack really needs to start. I mean, as much as they probably don't really want to, need to just really get vertical. There's a lot of horizontal, a bit of bouncing around. I think they just need to find that hard 2-3 yards every time, instead of just trying to look for that big play. But on the defensive side, we've been holding our own. Just got to stay pretty mentally strong.
Handoff and nowhere to go. First play for the Huskies. That was number 17, Luca Heinrich, with the carry. Loss of, looks like about 4 yards on that, so good start for the defense here in the third quarter.
Be interesting to see if the Huskies want to come out and just keep running the ball after not a particularly great pass in first half. Mackie is on the sideline, so...
Yeah, 2 interceptions in that first half. And again, a handoff, but sniffed out by the defense. It's going to be another loss on the play.
was a great shot block again by Bay. He had another one in the first half, but the linebacker flow has been pretty good today. And they haven't really been misdirected at all. It's worth knowing that number 99 in the middle of the field for the Pride, Leon is he's a 16-year-old and he's just been commanding that middle really. He's a bit like a dog with a ball really.
New quarterback is Jan Warasek. Looks downfield. Good coverage on the play. They're going to throw a flag on that, but if that's pass interference on the Pride, that is a pretty tough call. Defensive back had his head turned back to the ball, was going for the ball. We'll see what the flag is, but that's a tough one if that goes against the defense.
I'm not really too sure it's a flag myself. I mean, it's a 50-50 ball. He's just chucked the ball up, and he's sort of hoping that his man's going to come down with the ball, but surely I'd be picking that flag straight up.
Unless they're calling it on the offense. Nope. 15-yarder against the Pride and a really tough call.
Yeah, that's a pretty big play, really.
And instead of a 4th down and 15 punt for the Huskies, they get 15 yards and an automatic first down. New set of downs, and I mean, a defensive player has a right to go for the football. He certainly didn't play the man, but nevertheless, the defense is going to have to regroup and put together another solid 3 plays like they did there. Quarterback keeps it, nowhere to go. Again, Jan Warasek is the new quarterback, and I'm working off of a handwritten roster from the German team, so I apologize if I'm not reading that correctly, not saying that correctly, but it's the best I can do with the handwriting that I have been given. He was not on the original roster that we had. But taking over here in the second half, loss of a yard on that carry, so 2nd and 11.
Maybe take us if you can, Jasper, just a little tighter on that one. Not a lot, just a little tighter, okay?
He's going to run it again. He's got Bay out blocking for him. Again, though, the defense staying true.
Just need to keep that one moving a little. I know it's difficult.
Yeah, my man Nathan Willis has really stayed focused out at halftime. He's come out. You can hear the sound of his pads hitting every single time that ball's coming off that edge. It's been a really good half.
We spoke to Coach Harrod at halftime, and he said that it was really important for his team to stay up, continue to play hard here in the second half, and certainly they have started exactly as he would like. So 3rd down and right around 10 yards to go for the first down. And we're going to have a false start as one of the slot receivers there decided to get an extra jump on the ball. It's going to push him back 5 yards.
I think he was trying to realign himself to get on the line, but he was a bit too late for that. Yeah, our new quarterback's a very tall guy. He's got a sort of a Cam Newton running style about him, that's for sure.
He stands 6'6". So 3rd and 15. Now rolls out to his right and just kind of heaves that one up there. Ball well short, even if it had been completed. So a 4th and long now coming up, and the punt team will come on for the Huskies.
Again, we see the same player screaming downfield to try and make a play as Cam Birkinshaw again. I mean, that ball's probably another 2 yards up in the air. I think he's off for number 3. I mean, he's really been ball hawking. He's usually just coming downhill for some big hits, but today we've definitely seen both sides of him.
Yeah, you throw a pop fly up like that, and you got somebody back there who's already picked off 2 passes. Very fortunate to have the opportunity to punt. Kick is away. Again, it's going to drop short. And the Pride pick it up. Well, Illingworth grabs the football, picks up about 3 yards, but every special teams coach on the planet will tell you to not touch that football. There is unanimity in American football when the punt is nearly rolled dead and there are players all around it. You, as the receiving team, get as far away from it as possible.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to hear. We can hear quite a lot of field noise, and there's no real field noise coming from the special teams there to get your other special teamers away from the ball. Number 25 was about a foot away from hitting that ball.
And a run up the middle, dragging some players with him. That's Elijah Unkawo.
Yeah, I think this is the man they're going to need to get a bit of tough running inside. No safeties there again.
He has the football again, has a little space on the right side. Shows a nice burst. Inside the 40-yard line. They're going to say he stepped out just shy of it, so he's at the 41. Two good run plays to start the offense here in the second half for the Pride. McCluskey's still at quarterback. First down and 10. And again, it's Elijah.
They're creating a lot of running room considering the box count for the Pride. I mean, then the 3 linebackers looked a bit lost. They all sort of give themselves a bit more depth than usual, and well, probably pick up some easier yards again. Oh, another 5.
Yeah, 5 yards there. Ball at the 36-yard line. And the same player gets the football. This time the defense stacks him up after a gain of 2. So 3rd and 3 coming up for the Pride. And nice job there to draw the defense off sides. It's a free first down.
Yeah, it's a pretty good play call. I mean, if Coach Mayer's been watching their middle backers, he can clearly see they're both rushing straight to the A gap, and they're both really just trying to fly downhill. But I mean,
so the snap goes off McCloskey's foot. He throws it up in the air, and a nice job there by Illingworth to prevent that from being picked off.
The DB was so lucky he didn't really go and high point that ball. I mean, Illingworth came right under him, but
it's like he forgot that there was anybody else on the field who's back there fair catching a punt. So 2nd and 10. Wasn't the prettiest of plays, but no harm done after the bad snap and ill-advised throw.
Some movement. Number 5, Morgan Lundy.
Anxious wide receiver. 5-yard penalty, so 2nd and 15.
False starts from receiver, one of those penalties which coaches will really shout at you about. If you don't know the snap count, you really got to look at the football, and if you do, and you're still going offside, well, false starting, not too many happy coaches.
Elijah again inside the 30-yard line. So he gets the 5 yards that were lost on the false start back. So 3rd down and 10 coming up for the Pride. Important 3rd down. Now empty backfield for McCluskey. And he is going to change things up. Blitz coming up the middle. He's got it. Had a man, but no time in the pocket.
Yeah, and we see this sort of base play from the Huskies is just cover 0. They're typically just manned up on the outside, and the linebackers are almost allowed a free roll to blitz or sit in coverage, and they really bring in that pressure. I mean, the Pride O-line's holding their own blocks, but they've just overloaded every time, and I mean, someone's going to leak through.
There's a holding penalty on that play against the Pride, but it's declined by the Huskies to set up the 4th down. Now waiting for the call to come in from the sideline. 3 wide receivers to McCluskey's right. Throws it up, and no chance for that one. Is too strong of an arm there.
It looked like a miscommunication. Illingworth was running more towards the post, and Illingworth really through the pylon.
So a turnover on downs. Ball goes back to the Huskies. So a pair of possessions here in the 3rd quarter have resulted in no points for either team. More signs of life, though, shown by the Pride. They had a couple of very nice runs, picked up a couple of first downs. The only first down the Huskies have here in the 2nd half was via the penalty. Mack now back in at quarterback. Bay, the ball carrier. Danish national, played for the Danish national team. Runs that one out just short of the 35-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. Defense swapping their coverages and linebackers, and Mack's now going to roll to his left. Short pass is dropped. Seen 2 or 3 drops from the Huskies. 3rd and 5, and the Pride with another opportunity to force a 3 and out.
Yeah, that's it. Just making sure we
Yeah, Yeah, it's a really interesting change in
Following the action.
what looks like play calling
It's looking good though.
in that
It's looking
previous
good.
play
More responsive
with
now.
a really overloaded safety
Yeah,
side.
no, make sure we don't get that. We don't want to get that pole in. All right. I can tell you when the pole.
2 men in the backfield with Mac.
Okay, so you've got a pretty good range of movement. Don't worry if you can't get the right at the end. We can
Bad
cut that
snap,
thing
and the
up.
ball is free. Looks like the Huskies
All right,
fell
fine,
on
fine,
it,
fine. So
but
every now and then just giving that a little
they're going to
when it
lose
plays over there, that's fine.
big yards on
When it
that.
comes back over, just give it a move. But yeah, you're doing great on this close one as well. We're following that mostly. Okay, we're staying on the tight angle mostly.
Loss of 5 yards. So on 4th down and 10, they will bring on the punt team. At some point, the Pride punt returners need to cheat forward a little bit, as every kick has dropped a good 10 to 15 yards in front of them.
Yeah, and that was a big cause of that big fumble, which came off Barbosa and just, well, went straight into their punting team.
Punt is away. Again, it's going to drop well short of anybody. And again, a member of the Pride running towards the football as it's bouncing around near midfield. And there's simply no sense to that.
Yeah, I said in the first half I was pretty shocked. There's no communication between them on evacuating from the football. And it just seems that all it takes is a word and everyone sort of turns to find the ball and, you know, starts running to their sideline or just away from the ball. And it's just,
Yeah, your kick returner's got the view. He's got the picture of the entire field. He should be shouting at everybody, waving his hands, making sure people get away from the football. 'Cause you don't want to touch it and turn it over. Elijah again. And good solid yards in the middle of the field for the Pride. Gain of 5. He has it. Cannot break the tackle, and he's going to lose a couple.
Coach Kleinfield, D-line coach, looked very happy with that play.
Lucas Panier makes that tackle for the Huskies, and now one of the Huskies, a little banged up, is going to come off the field. They have yet to replace him, so right now the Huskies only have 10 players on the field. And here comes the number 11. And a timeout called by the Huskies as they were about to run a second and 5 play with only 10 defensive players in the field, and the 11th one running on and not really having any clue what to do. So a good use of a timeout. These two teams proving to be very evenly matched, and so any mistake can loom large. You know, Coach Harrod talked to us about trying to run the football a little more. You had mentioned that in terms of trying to stop going sideline to sideline and right up the middle, and they've done a good job of that with Elijah so far here in the third quarter.
Yeah, they've had a pretty good pass with running backs Pride, and more recently Tunde Carter. He was a really solid runner upfield. He could bounce outside. He's pretty balanced all around player, and I think that's what they're just trying to find again. I mean, Coach Herod did tell us he thinks it could be seen as a rebuilding year for Pride, with a lot of big turnover and just the amount of talent that the Pride have seen over the past few years.
Klasky rolls to his right. He's going to keep the football. Tries to pick up the first down on his own. He loses the football. Pride covered the fumble. We'll see where they mark him. He's going to be short of the first down.
Yeah, McCluskey comes off the field there, and they put in Fabio Bayo, who only recently joined the team about 2 weeks ago.
Well, a timeout on the field, and it looks like that's the end of the third quarter. So a very fast-moving third quarter after a very slow first half. And the team's playing to a scoreless draw in the third quarter. Neither offense able to get it going. Both defenses playing well. 12-6 our score as we begin the fourth quarter. The chains, I don't believe, have moved correctly because they were looking at a they had a 3rd and 5. He picked up yards, and all of a sudden it looks like a 4th and 8.
The referees look at it, but oh, that's not a pretty throw at all. Very low snap.
So the ball goes incomplete. Turnover on downs. But it looked like they would have been facing like a 4th down and 2. Instead, they look over at the chains. I wonder if the coaches were confused by that and called a passing play. And again, not a very good passing play.
Yeah, it all starts with a snap. I mean, that snap was pretty poor. Right at his toes, you know, he's got to pick that ball up, get his head back up, and start making his reads again. And the defense that Hamburg have been playing, that's going to be a really, really hard job. I mean, anyone who can play zero safeties and just brings a lot of pressure straight through the middle, it's always going to be a hard job.
So Huskies begin this possession at their own 44-yard line, 1st down and 10. Handoff in the middle and all over the
Leon
play.
making a really, really good play there. He almost missed, but a really strong arm and really just wrapped him up. Really impressive for a 16-year-old in a really commanding spot in a 4-3.
Yeah, big tackle there, 2nd and 10. Again, this defense has been stellar for most of the game. Little crack in the defense there. Some space up the middle. Nathan Willis saves a touchdown.
Yeah, we literally just saw the flip of the wrong play in the previous one there. I mean, previous play, Leon and Joe Lee fill that exact hole. This time, Leon gets blocked and Joe Lee fails to come across to make that. But that's a hard play to make.
1st down for the Huskies as they make some personnel changes, and 2 running backs now in the backfield with Mack. He fakes it to him. Now he's going to throw across the middle behind his man.
It doesn't look like he's too happy with his receiver. I think they could be on 2 different wavelengths there. It looks like Mack's been allowed to let the team run the ball, but his play action is pretty good. He's just got to keep his accuracy up, really. His power's there, but he's just missing. And when he hasn't missed, he hasn't been gifted with catches.
2nd and 10. This time he's going to pitch it to Bay on the outside. Down near the 30-yard line. Yeah, from his middle linebacker spot, getting over there to make that play.
Yeah, he's always run this football. He seems to be playing sideline to sideline and just really getting his head stuck in, which for some 16-year-olds against a big Hamburg side, they're not always too keen.
Gain of 6 on that play brings up 3rd and 4. Right up the gut.
Wow.
And just shoving bodies forward.
And there's that Hamburg power, for sure.
They just pushed their way downfield inside the 20-yard line.
Huge push up front. And Max just allowed to run behind 2 running backs. And then we're talking 7-on-7 up front, and who's going to make a tackle?
So 1st and 10 for the Huskies. Handoff. And good penetration by the defense. Couple of hands and stand him up. Good job there. No gain on that play. In fact, he might have lost a foot or two. And we are going to have a timeout called here by the Huskies.
It'd be interesting to see whether they actually think that QB sort of just power play, really. He's just caught the ball, taking his first step back, and then just flown straight through that O-line. It'd be interesting to see whether they want to carry on with the mentality, because they really beat that front 7 of Bristol up straight away.
Well, they are bigger and stronger, and now into the 4th quarter of play, and so you've got to wonder if fatigue is starting to play a factor for the defensive front for the Pride. They've been on the field a lot.
Yep, the Bristol Pride team, the squad size isn't as big as some previous years, but the Hamburg Huskies team is a pretty big number, so they can play that to their advantage.
Well, this is an important series right here. We are in the 4th quarter, and if Hamburg gets in the end zone, they'll be up by 2 touchdowns. And you've got to think that would be a tall order for the Pride to score twice before the end of the game. But if they can stop them here, they stay in the football game and stay within just 1 touchdown. Now a low snap on the ground. Mac does a nice job to cover it up, but a big loss on the play. And it's the grounder that never got off the ground.
Not only is that a lot of yards, but the quarterback also takes a hit on that play. And it's not really a position you want to put your guys in.
Pushes them all the way back to the 28-yard line. Looks like about 3rd down and about 22. Mac rolling to his right, throws to his right. He's got a man.
Oh.
And nearly a one-handed circus catch. That would have been a spectacular grab. Falls incomplete. And that's brings up a 4th down and 22. And the Pride may get out of this without any damage.
Yeah, that bad snap would be a big factor in this.
Well, that's what one of the things we talk about is football is played on a 100-yard field, but it's a matter of 1 or 2 plays, or in some instances just a few inches, that really make the difference. And you think back to that interception return, where where the Pride were ruled out of bounds just along the line there, just inches away from actually taking it back for a touchdown that would have this game tied right now. And it really comes down to just a few plays each game where you can look at it. Had they gone differently, the result would have been different. Another timeout on the field, and this is obviously an important play of the game. Both teams want to make sure they've got their right play called. You know, no British team has beaten a team from Germany. Pride, though, have a number of firsts as a British club. They're the first British club to beat a national team. They beat GB and have had other success against some of the European teams. Of course, they played this German team very well last year and playing them well again. Mac looking down the field, and
Cam Birkinshaw is he's dropped that. That's going to be his easiest pick he's going to get all night.
But probably in terms of field position, a pretty good a good result for the Pride. Otherwise, he might have had the football around the goal line. This way, they get the ball out near the 30-yard line. But yes, that would have been his trifecta, his third interception of the game. And probably the easiest of the three. The first two were more difficult plays for him.
Yeah, it was uncontested, which is not the greatest work by the receiver who was intended for. Interesting to see Hamburg have actually dropped what can almost be sort of a hybrid of three safeties. Fabio Bayo, he's gone looking for Richard Edenworth first play, but.
So I wonder if McCluskey got hurt on, he carried the football, and since he carried that football on that third down play, we haven't seen him yet on offense, and I wonder if he got banged up a little bit.
Yeah, previously in the game, he took a straight line into a linebacker, and I couldn't understand why he's running into him. I mean, he doesn't need to be. He's got his running backs to do that job for him, but hopefully he's not banged up.
Huskies didn't like what they saw, and they used their last timeout of the half or timeout of the game, so they can no longer stop the clock, which would be a factor if the Pride can get down and score a touchdown.
Yeah, when the Pride first started out, they entered the Dodds competition, so the Pride will play in Europe almost every single game week, where they play on predominantly US military bases. So they play teams like the Ramstein Royals and Vilsec, and they had really good success. That was probably some of their strongest years, and quite a lot of the players from those teams ended up going to colleges in America. So that was pretty much a good success for them. Their first attempt in 2010, they actually won the Northern Conference, but they lost in the semi-finals in 2010 and 2012. And 2012 was actually their final year in Dodds competition.
Second down and 10 for the Pride. Tepe gets the handoff, and not much space for him.
Yeah, they've most recently played some university teams too from the surrounding area. Bristol University and University West of England combined to put out a team to play the Pride, and also Cardiff University. I believe they beat both of them. They definitely beat Cardiff. So That's a really good showing for a really young side to go up and play an older age group and come away with victories.
Well, there's no question the quality of this academy and the American football that's played here is some of the best in the UK in terms of youth football. And these, as you were talking about, these guys all are enrolled here full time, and because of that, they get 3 practices a week. Where many of the clubs around the country, you're getting 1 practice a week, and so these guys are getting a chance to get the kind of reps that really separate the Americans who play football and the Brits who play football. You know, I played back in high school, and we practiced 4 days a week and then played on Fridays. And when you're playing and practicing that often, you naturally get better. I mean, it's a skill like anything else, and the more you do it, the better you get. And these guys get a chance to play more frequently being a part of this academy.
Yeah, and this Hamburg team is probably capable of beating a lot of senior teams in Britain. They look a very good outfit.
And it is
He's got it.
Intercepted. And the Huskies will take over following the turnover. Unfortunate play for the Pride right there in front of their bench. We don't have a clock here, so we don't know exactly how much time is left, but we are in the waning moments of the 4th quarter. We have yet to reach the 2-minute warning. The Pride offense running out of chances. The defense continues to hold their own. They are now tasked with getting the football back. Handoff up the middle and nowhere to go.
Yeah, I think we see the Hamburg Huskies' intentions for this entire drive if they plan on burning some clock. They jump into that shotgun wishbone look with 3 running backs, and with that physical line, it is a lot of downhill running, and let's just try and beat them up.
Gain of 2 on that, 2nd and 8. Yeah, just looking to eat clock and eat yardage right now. Some space on the left side. He finds the corner inside the 20. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Again, I thought he might have stayed in bounds, but the American football markings on this field are painted on in black, and so maybe here at night a little hard to see, but a big run there by the Huskies.
Yeah, you can really see the size of that ball carrier then. He really came around that edge, and I mean, there's not a lot of 16 and 17-year-olds who are physically that big or really want to bring that man down, He's a very large person.
Yeah, when he's running full speed, it's not a tackle that you want to have to try to make one-on-one. Now Mack throws for the corner. Incomplete.
An incomplete pass, but that for Mack is actually a pretty good thrown ball. He's put that in a position that there's only one person getting that ball, if anyone is, and that was his receiver. Is dead on his outside shoulder. So, I mean, it's an incompletion, but Sanchez was the only one near it, so it's not too bad.
Well, yeah, Mack has made some impressive throws. That was certainly one of them. He shows a lot of talent.
Yeah.
And they get the ball snapped while the Pride still have players on the field, but it's not going to matter. Mack takes it in for the touchdown. The too many men on the field will be declined. Although now everybody seems to be...
Yeah, the blocking on that play, the centre got right upfield. The adjustments were pretty ill-timed, really. It meant that people were already out of position before the play even be snapped, so it's not the greatest.
So we'll see. They went for 2 last time. They missed the extra point off of their first touchdown. Right now the lead is 12. The book says you go for 2 again and try to make it a 14-point lead.
Maybe talking through some trickery for some of these seniors.
The Germans now have a little breathing room. We were talking to one of their coaches. They are very much all looking forward to sleeping tonight after their 15-hour bus ride. The college here is going to put them up for the evening. Then they'll begin the trip home tomorrow.
Yeah, when the Pride used to play in Dodds, they'd endure on journeys of 24, 28 hours, so it's not all too bad.
Yeah, I was with the Blitz senior team this last year, and they played in Belgrade, and one of the options was an actual bus trip from London to Belgrade, and they were able to find a flight deal that was much better than that. Otherwise, they were looking at around 30 hours on a bus. Everybody was very pleased when that plan changed. And the trickery, here it comes. Offensive line all shifts over to the left side of the field. And we're going to get a flag.
I think it's
a little delay of game, perhaps. And the trickery taking too long to pull off is going to push them back 5 yards. Well, they spent an awful lot of time talking about that play, and of course they don't have any timeouts left, so the play clock was running while that was going on. And they're going to go for it again.
They give them the same look, which is a very interesting look. There's a lot of options available.
And they do not convert the 2-point conversion. A direct snap to a running back who throws to the other quarterback across the middle of the field. Nothing doing. They now will kick it off, leading by 12 points. Fourth quarter of play.
Yeah, they probably look pretty confused from the look the Hamburg actually changed to. It looked like there was a couple of little options for the Huskies to actually run through there. They could have powered it up through the middle, gone outside, or they probably could have even thrown the slant from the Z position to the quarterback's wide right.
Hamburg has their kick team now in place. And if you're ever going to rip off a big return, now would be the time. But again, the returners standing back at the 10-yard line and rather optimistic based on the kind of kicks we've seen most of the evening.
Quite unusually, this Hamburg team are looking pretty rushed. I mean, there's a bit of a lack of organisation by the looks of things. They all seem to be a bit confused.
Right across the 20-yard line. Has a little space on the left side, but it shuts down before he gets out to the 30.
Yeah, it's a much better catch by Barbosa.
Well, he was well positioned to grab that football. And a member of the Huskies is down. You hate to see a guy go down this late in the game. He's being attended to, and the teams will again take a knee while he's being treated. Now he's up and jogging off the field on his own power, and so obviously the injury not severe.
Maybe just a dead leg. Yeah. Not the greatest. You get up and just
and
lose
there he
all
is.
power.
Yeah, he's holding his hamstring as he comes off. So
Oh, just looks like some cramp.
Bio out to Tepe in some space. Slips a tackle. Slips another one. Has a little room now. Oh, and he loses the football. Ball is out. Big scramble for it.
I think Morgan Lundy, the wide receiver, has recovered it. Number 5 for the Pride. Yeah. But
Pride falling if there is a marker down.
Happy was looking pretty good there up until a little loss of handles.
Well, regardless of how it ended, he was a pretty exciting football play right there. Excellent run.
That's how you play hero and villain in one play.
Yeah, so holding penalty will be a spot foul, so they still get the first down run. Pushes them back. And one of those situations where they're going to be facing a first down and 2 or 3 yards. Well, the chains are moving now. Now, if he hadn't crossed, if the penalty pushed them back behind the first down marker, then they shouldn't have moved, but nice job of coming back to the football.
Some man, Richard Iddenworth again. He's been targeted a fair few times, and I think it looks like he's definitely the #1 receiver for the Pride, but the lack of serviceable balls of his way haven't been great. But that just shows what he can do when he can get vertical.
That catch takes the football down to the 32-yard line of the Huskies. Bio's receiver fell down. He was going in motion and just slipped down.
Bayo takes a big lick there too. 2 guys coming straight down those A-gaps again. But he gets straight back up. That's always a good sign.
And seemed to be on a different page than his wide receivers there. Falls incomplete. So 3rd and 10. Pride with 3 wide receivers split to the right side. And again, appears to be a miscommunication as
It's a really nice touch from the Huskies though. Getting all those levers onto the pitch all together. really just cheering them on for that one final game before a lot of them will end up with the men's team in GFL 1.
4th and 10. Bayos cannot slip the last tackler, and he goes down for the sack. Turnover on downs will give the football back to the Huskies.
That's a really good sack. He's grabbed a bit of cloth and he ain't letting go. I mean, it looked like Bayo was going to get outside him for a moment, but
Well, and Bayo's not
no
your
chance.
typical quarterback. He's a running back, so he's awfully good at breaking tackles like that. (18-6) our score here late in the 4th quarter. Final game of the season for Hamburg. They're about to finish it up in winning style. Four wide receivers for Mack, and he moves Bay now over to his left-hand side. He keeps it himself. Out across the 40-yard line, but not much beyond that.
It's young Antonio Costa. He's been pretty impressive on that back end today. Considering he's 16, he's keeping up beat, as you can see. He's still trying to encourage his teammates. You know, they're 18-6 down right now, but he's still going.
Well, it's the final game for the Huskies, but the first game of the year for the Pride, and certainly the kind of performance that they can build off of. This is a very good team that they have played toe-to-toe until here in the 4th quarter. Little space up the middle. Shuts it down at the 45-yard line. He'll be short of a first down.
It's a really good block, Blue, by Bogbidi on the O-line. He just, well, he really finished that block.
3rd and a long 3. We still haven't reached a 2-minute warning. This quarter taking a lot longer than that 3rd quarter took. Even though it feels like we've had significantly more run plays here, and the clock should have been running more, but Mack back to pass, sets up a screen across the middle of the field. Bay has the first
Still
down.
going. Still going.
Finally brought down at the 35-yard line.
It wasn't the prettiest play, but Mack did a really good job getting the ball today. And he managed to just get upfield.
And we now have our 2-minute warning. Everybody's out of timeout, so a few more run plays should do it.
See if the Huskies have anything up their sleeve for those levers. Any little tricks left in the bag. Never really know. Wow.
Good space in the middle of the field again.
The blocking was just tremendous. They've shifted everyone to the outside and opened just, well, the Red Sea really, and the running backs just walked through. Not really too sure where the linebackers were for that play.
Well, you can see some of the fight in the Pride has waned here in the closing moments of this game. These big bodies up front for the Huskies are starting to have their way along the offensive line there. They are certainly owning the line of scrimmage here in the fourth quarter.
It's interesting to see they've just brought on William Bunce and Neville Jada for the Pride to fill in at the 1 tech and 3 tech D tackles. So, oh wow. They should be able to clog up the middle a bit
Saves a touchdown, but big first down run for the Huskies. Not doing anything fancy, just power running. First and goal, ball at the 8-yard line.
It's that wishbone look again.
Bay on the right side makes a nice move and cuts it back outside and walks into the end zone for a touchdown. We do have a number of late flags coming in. In fact, we've had about every official threw their flag on that play. Looks like a party with all the yellow hankies dotting the field.
From this angle, it's quite hard to really call what a penalty could be or even speculate it, but
well, and you've got them all over the field too. You've got here on the near sideline that official threw his flag, and then near the point where Bay walked into the end zone, you had 3 flags thrown. So we will get the call from the referee. So we have offsetting penalties. He initially said holding on the defense. He meant the offense. And so the touchdown will not count. We will go back to the 8-yard line and run that play over again. Flynn Bay had a very nice run on that and a couple of nice moves there towards the goal line to get in, but all for naught. Another handoff up the middle, and another touchdown run for the Huskies. 24-6 now your score. We are inside a minute to play. And so three very good quarters of play, and they've just run out of gas here, the Pride have. And the Huskies aren't doing anything too fancy, just letting their offensive line do the work up front. And that is the game. The clock has expired. Hamburg Huskies make the trip to England and have won 24-6. Some things, though, for the Pride to be proud of. Certainly as they build on this season, they can look back to this game as a good game, a game that they can also learn from, because there are certainly areas that they can improve upon. Any final thoughts as these two teams finish up?
That's a really, really impressive performance from Hamburg. They struggled a little bit passing the ball, but overall, that was a really, really good showing, you know. And I think they could easily come over here and give a very good number of university teams a lot of trouble, including some of the topper teams like Birmingham and Stirling. And for their age, they've got tremendous size, you know, and well, hopefully they'll all end up in the senior level, and we'll see them a bit later then.
Well, that's all for us from Bristol. Final score, the Hamburg Huskies 24, Bristol Academy Pride 6. On behalf of Joe Cotterill, I'm Kyle Garlett. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Away!